I'm Jonathan Weinberg. I am currently a Social Services Program Manager 3 in Santa Clara County Department of Family and Children's Services. I started as a line worker about 25 years ago and have worked my way through the system. What I do now is I am the front-end manager over our emergency response and dependent intake units. Actually, there's several reasons. The first ones that come to mind are as we have progressed, especially in the last 10 years or so, towards evidence-based practice, outcomes are really important, and having defined goals and measurements to determine what our outcomes are really will dictate how we envision ourselves and, if need be, re-envision ourselves moving forward. Another thing is that our outcomes are very directly tied to our funding. And so in order to maximize our funding and our ability to resource ourselves, we really need to be mindful of what our outcomes are and have measurements that will let us know in that regard. The third reason is our service delivery system is either effective or not, and we find that out based on the outcomes of how we're engaging, how we are, the timeliness of our responses, whether we are making a difference on having children in our community be safer, parents parenting better or maximally, and outcomes really give us the litmus for that measurement and to determine how we're doing. One last thing that I forgot to mention that really is hugely significant to how data can be used is every county has its SIP plan, its systems improvement plan. It used to be 3 years, it's now 5, and it's basically a contract, if you will, that each county agrees to with the state on what goals we are going to accomplish for, in this case, the next 5 years. Those goals are very much going to be determined by what the outcome measures are and the data that we have used and collected. And so knowing all of this is inherently necessary to have a SIP plan that has integrity, that is doable and reachable. I think the most vivid example is our disparity numbers in child welfare and children of color, families of color issues. We really have had across the state and the nation a profound difference in outcomes for people of color, and the way we came to realize that was through our data tracking and measurements and looking at those outcomes. I absolutely believe Title IV students need to be knowledgeable about data. It is driving so much of what we do right now. For a new social worker to come into an agency and understand the connection and the link between data and outcomes and planning and funding and service delivery success and changing things in our society, in our community that we're trying to do, you have to know how to interpret data. Also, at a very basic level, you have to know how to enter data. And for new social workers to understand the importance of specifically entering data into our computer system, our CWS CMS system, and giving management and our leaders the information they need to make the right decisions to move our profession forward and our departments forward. So go on to the internet, go to Berkeley's websites, go to Business Objects, which is an outcome program that we have that we specifically use in child welfare here. Go on to the county you're working in, go to their websites and find out what data they're tracking. That will let you know what's important to that community.